The Hemingwrite is a single function writing tool. We really looked at all the great tools that have existed before, the typewriter, longhand journal, word processor, and tried to combine them all in a really dedicated form. So we have a full-size mechanical keyboard. Right. It's actually a mechanical keyboard. So instead of having kind of the membrane keyboard where you're constantly grounding out your fingers on the bottom of your desk to type, these actually actuate at about 50% of the way down. To register that key press.
Nice travel.
And like I say, it's also mechanical, so there is tactile feedback. It's a very pleasant writing experience. Next we have, of course, this e-ink display. Basically, we wanted the battery life of an e-paper display combined with being very daylight readable. This is perfect contrast. It has like an infinite viewing angle, because it actually is like, pigmented black. Now the other things you see are two dials, one on the left for folder selection, then one on the right for Wi-Fi, and then finally an instant on button. So we've tried to make all those thoughtful decisions for you and give you a very minimalist writing experience. All you can do is write. You can work on 3 things at a time. And then also on the right, of course, it's necessary to have the Wi-Fi toggle so that you can scan for Wi-Fi networks and connect and get online. Now, if you're, if you don't have Wi-Fi, or you're out camping, you can turn off the antenna to save battery life. And then as soon as you're back and connected, it'll phone home and upload all your documents, and from there to a variety of the web applications, the productivity tools you already use for your writing.
Great. So that's what the Wi-Fi is for then. It's just to store and recall documents.
In 2015, it really doesn't make sense to shuttle stuff, around on a disk.
Right.
How do you get your documents out of the Hemingwrite and into the tools you already use? Well, anytime there was any type of complicated configuration, we tried to offload that from being in the device in some complicated and difficult, on-screen menu, and into our rich web application Postbox.
Right.
And so if we go into Postbox, you see that your documents are syncing in real time. So, if I add 2015 January 4, interview with Techcrunch. You see that in real time, it's actually already being uploaded to the cloud and being saved. And the other cool thing here too is they're actually being converted into Markdown. So if I go to print this, you see that it's already been properly rendered and formatted in Markdown, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great.
One way you can always count on getting it is just by printing it, and you'll get an email, and then we'll also send it to your printer. It's all about set and forget. So when you first unbox your Hemingwrite, you go online to your Postbox account, and you can link it with your Google, Dropbox, Evernote account, and plenty of other applications going forward into the future as we continue developing.
You talk about single-purpose writing tools, so that's been a thing that I've witnessed across my career, has been a goal, and people have mainly tried to achieve it by software. So is that, where did you come up with this desire for single-purpose writing?
So I have used a lot of distraction-free writing apps out there.
Yeah.
And it's still too easy to weasel out and end up back on Facebook or Reddit or Twitter. Right. And in fact, there's actually a great article written by Kathy Sierra that actually talks about the fact that willpower and cognition, whether it's your creativity or talent, actually come from the same mental reservoir. So if you're trying to be really disciplined about not going on Facebook, you're actually competing against that other zero-sum
from the same pool.
The same mental pool that you're trying to tap into to be creative in writing. And so even if you succeed in using a distraction-free writing app for a half hour, you're still fidgeting or exerting some willpower to not go on Facebook.
Right.
On a personal computer, between Facebook and your distraction-free writing app, you're actually burning the candle at both ends, being both disciplined and creatively writing.
Right.
And so we, with the Hemingwrite, we burned that bridge. There is no way to get on Facebook or Twitter or Reddit. You can only write.
Right, unless you pull your phone out of your pocket.
Well, you can leave your phone at home.
The Hemingwrite is a distraction-free writing tool. It combines the simplicity of a typewriter with all of the convenience of digital documents.
So this is on Kickstarter right now, is that right?
Yes, it is. It's actually available for pre-sale at a price of $399 for the same black Hemingwrite.
Okay, and that will ship when, hopefully?
So we're shipping in September 2015, this year now, and we're excited.
Yeah, and CES for you, what are your goals here? Do you have manufacturing partners lined up for this already? Or?
So So in the next month and a half, we're still going to go through a final design cycle where we're going to finally source and contract, for the 1,000 or 5,000 displays we need, et cetera. And we expect there's going to be a few modifications we need to make to our design here.
Yeah.
So that's an ongoing process. September is obviously very aggressive in that respect.
Yeah.
But this whole project has been moving very fast. Adam and I are very smart and broad generalists with a lot of experience both in engineering and also in business. And I guess the one thing I'd like to tell people viewing on Techcrunch, it's available on Kickstarter right now for $3.99.
Great. All right. Well, thanks very much. Really pleased to see this in person. It's very cool and it's very exciting.
It's a pleasure talking with you,
Yeah.
Darrell.
Thanks a lot.